Good morning. Welcome to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Tuesday morning, coming off a long holiday. Drive safe. What'd you get done over the weekend?
I got to check out the pool. Other than that, I did a little bit of work this weekend, but spent some time with family.
No barbecuing?
No, I didn't get a chance to barbecue.
No barbecuing today. And producer in the back, what's going on? How was your weekend?
It was great. It went by pretty quick, actually, but overall it was a nice little break, Memorial Day. So
you know what? You deserve a break. I mean, you came in late last week, and you deserved a break. You're being overworked, and that's part of the reason why I think you came in late. You know, you've been stressing about work. You overslept a little bit.
Long hours.
Long hours.
Hours.
Sometimes 7 hours. Drive safe, Dave.
I know.
Yeah. So
I don't
crazy
even know how
stuff
he does
right
it.
there.
It's incredible.
Thank God you got your break. Thank God you were able to get that. Yeah, I didn't do much. Drive safe, Dave, at all. Hung out with a little bit of the family. Watched a little golf, here at the Colonial here in Fort Worth.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Always cool, man. Drive safe. Let's go into your hurricane evacuation because we had a little storm down in Mexico, speaking of which, and way down there towards your midsection is your pocket. Drive safe, Dave.
I don't know. We've talked about these pockets. I don't know how they're drifted so far south, but you know what? The hurricane evacuation route, you'll see these blue signs indicating direction of travel. A lot of the times during emergency situations, what they'll do is sometimes they'll use the incoming lane or the opposite lane or what have you. But the hurricane route, and they'll do different routes and stuff like that.
Yeah, so stuff like that. All right, so hey, I want you to do me this favor. Sometimes when you're standing up, you put your hand in your pocket, you're just kind of watching something. You get your hand in your pocket. I want you to stand and just put your hand in your front pocket, though. Your pocket up. No. I'm talking about your pocket that's almost down there anyway. There you go. It's almost, that pocket is so stinking low, especially when you're sitting down. You did look a little bit like Napoleon. Maybe that was Napoleon's issue. He had weird pockets.
He had a low pocket. That was it all along. We figured it out.
We thought he was just short. His pockets were just low.
I thought for a long time he had an itch, but his pockets were just low. He was digging out some stuff.
Oh man, hey, but we did have some storms in Mexico this weekend. Had a lot of mudslides. Drive safe, Dave.
Coming up
Category 2, hitting that fishing area over there. Yeah, major storms. A lot of rain. A lot of just a ton of rain. You saw the city.
20 inches.
Yeah, dog, it's a lot.
20 inches. There's 20 inches, mudslides, high water, flash floods. They said that it may even push all the way through as a tropical storm, but may push out into the Atlantic.
Yeah, so it's expected to kind of die out through today, though. It's not, they're saying it really shouldn't expect much more. But, yeah, it was very, very high winds on that. Our prayers go out to those folks out there, and drive safe. As we think about that, again, we're going to go into your shirt pocket way down there towards the bottom of that, but it is.
It's like 1 inch lower than normal, and it's like throwing this guy off completely. If you measure his pocket to my pocket, it's like 1 inch.
Your pocket, you brought it up, and it's barely still there. So I'm telling you, a minute ago it was laying on the desk. His pocket was like laying on the desk there. I was like, what is this pocket saying over there? Hey, but drive safe as we get into the hurricane season, right? It's not very far away.
Right.
We've got to be aware of these signs. We've got to, also, Dave, when we get into that, and we'll go into a little bit more of that, we've got to also be ready for some of the precautions, right? Make sure you have fuel. Making sure you're rested, make sure you have a place to go, the routing, all these things that kind of go with that. Because when traffic's going one way, right,
you're not going
the other way.
And they'll use both sides of the freeway. But you know what? It's great to understand, know your weather, be prepared. It doesn't matter if it's a hurricane, snowstorm. It doesn't matter if it's heavy rain, smoke, and just be prepared before you enter. Pre-plan your area. Pre-plan what you're doing.
Hey, drive safe. It is TikTok Tuesday.
It is
TikTok that we've all been waiting for. Our first initial TikTok Tuesday. Producer, what do you got for us today?
I'm going to show off the new intro. Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I got to show you in 5 minutes. There need me. I gotta go. I'm like drive safe, Dave. I got people down there. I'll talk about it.
We've come a long, long way together.
Like 5,
Through the hard times and the good.
everyone. Welcome
I
to
have
BCB
to
Live, the
celebrate
safest
you,
station in the
baby.
nation.
All right, Drowsy, you heard the kids, our audience,
Yeah.
kind of clapping
Romper
for us,
room.
saying that yeah, a little romper room. I like that part. But you know what, Drowsy? We're up to one video right now. Yeah, are we producing one video a week? Is that our new TikTok
I
platform?
don't know. I'm not on the schedule,
It took
but
us
I do.
3 years to get one out. So
Yeah.
now if we can do one a week, what happened to the one a day? I thought we had more TikToks. Producer, is there any more TikToks back there?
You know, there's a few. I don't know why they haven't been posted yet. But
Come
there's
on.
some more.
Come on.
Ready to
That's
go.
the other producer. That's the other intern that's not posting them. Taking the TikToks.
Pull
but we're
the
just
trigger!
not- yeah.
Pull the
Lee.
trigger!
Hey, but drive safe. You know, we're not quite the sensation that there's a dog out there, Great Dane. And this Great Dane is like TikTok famous. You TikTok famous, I don't know what that means, but it's got like 5 million followers that sits and watches them fart.
Yeah, I know. You know what? There is some weird attraction, I guess, to seeing this happen. Maybe it's because it's in somebody else's house and not in your own.
You know what? That big old Great Dane, you know.
Probably puts one out.
Do we not have the TikTok of that one? It's TikTok Tuesday. Come on
I don't have the video
now.
of that, but I have some other videos that are ready to go.
Let's show some other ones, even though we'll leave the dog one for a minute.
Look, he popped his balloon. He popped- Now he's dropped the flower. Now he's dropped the chocolates. Yeah, it fell apart.
Was that a TikTok?
Yeah.
We can do that. I mean, all day we can do that
I love how
kind
you
of
tried
stuff.
to put the chocolate back in the box.
You know
after
what?
they were on the ground.
Show the one with a cart with a.
I
with
can
a
assure
truck.
you that this person's going to get it figured
We
out.
got to see this. You got to see this one, Sir Rick. I was part of this. Okay, look at this.
Alert truck drivers.
That's a foot.
Where's the foot?
You don't see the foot? That's a foot.
That's a foot.
That's a leg and a foot.
No, I don't see it. I see what you guys are pointing at. I don't see a leg or a foot, especially.
Oh yeah, somebody has crawled up into the rear tandems and gone to sleep. Yeah, you got to do your pre-trip. Look out.
I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing.
Go back to
this,
that. You
but,
don't see that foot right there.
I don't think. Isn't this? I'm sure this is like a border town, right? It's probably somebody that hopped in it to cross the border. I don't think somebody just went there and went to sleep. It's not like a cat, right? You just crawl under the engine and go to sleep. I think somebody probably was trying to do something illegal, like
okay.
come over across the border. But yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't see it though.
Yeah, I think he was doing a pre-trip.
Yeah.
That's all.
Crawling up on it and doing a pre-trip. Hey, speaking of pre-trips, we're going to talk a little of that in just a minute. But first, we're going to go to a break. This will break. Drive safe, Dave. Who we're going to let's have this break sponsored by somebody.
Like
Who?
Utility Pro.
UtilityProWear.com.
UtilityProWear.com. That's who I want to do
Yeah.
it with. I don't know who you want to do it with, but I want to do it with
I was trying to
Utility
give
Pro
you an
Wear.
opportunity there. Utility Pro Wear. Show Utility Pro Wear for us. We'll be right back with more BCB Live.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility Pro Wear. Utility Pro Wear manufactures high quality, ANSI certified, high visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility Pro Wear gives you the added benefit of providing a barrier to liquids, dirt, and grime, keeping you cleaner longer, brighter longer, and therefore safer longer. Get your high visibility apparel by going to utilityprowear.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount.
Welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. It's TikTok Tuesday. Show us one more TikTok. Maybe we'll be,
impressed.
show me one more. I mean, I thought TikTok was the thing, Drive Safe
So
Dave.
before I start this video, though, I'm going to preface it with Bryce actually thinks this might be you two on a sub account or a hidden account. So here we go.
Thanks, Bryce. I like the hand holding at the end. Did you see that?
She may be onto something right there, Drive Safe Dave. She may be onto something on that. That's probably what would happen if you and I were to attempt to get on one of the things and begin. You know, what are those things called? It's almost like slinkies. I don't know what they are. You go.
Isn't it kind of like a seesaw but on a spring?
Man, but no, good stuff. Funny TikTok. Hey, Drive Safe. Listen, you know, we're going into the week following a holiday.
Yes.
All right, so when we think about the week following a holiday, what are some things that we tend to see across the country today? Here it is, it's Tuesday. You know what, from a owner operator, what should the owner operator expect this week?
Well, I'll just tell you, number one, it's the 100 deadliest days. We've entered into it, so we've got a lot of dangers going out there. You're going to see a lot of people traveling, but I will tell you that right now, you're still going to see a lot of high prices out there. You're going to see opportunities out there. There's going to be a lot of people coming back to work today, so you got a lot going on out there. You're going to have some guys going on vacation, but truck drivers are going to be coming back to work today. They had a long weekend. They were off. They were off the week before during the blitz, and then they had the holiday. So it looks like everybody's going to be coming back in. There's a lot of power. So
you say it like that, and I'll go with your theory on this. If a lot of owner operators, a lot of independent contractors are coming out today, understand today that a lot of people are just beginning to go back to work. So a lot of production won't come out today.
Correct.
So if in fact what Dave's saying, hey, a lot of rates, a lot of good money, I'm going to go against that. I'm going to say today, if you decide to go out today as an owner operator, expect a lower rate because there'll be a lot more competition for the same, for less freight because freight's not shipping out.
Yeah, it's low.
We're just back to work today. The machines are just gearing back up again. So don't expect the high rates, I would say. Dave says the opposite, but I'd say be cautious on that. You know what? Get a rate and get it early. The later throughout the day, the more competition is going to be for that load. You know what? At this point, you may just want to wait until tomorrow. It kind of depends. You know, it's what's the rate going out today. Get your load for tomorrow early as well, whatever you're going to do. Know where you're going to. You know, these places that you're going to, such as Denver, Colorado, they don't ship out very much already, let alone today. You know, be ready to look at the, it's a great day. This is a great week to kind of really pre-plan yourself out as an owner-operator.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you on that the rates would be down today as the day goes out and not very much freight out there today. But I would agree with you 100% as we get back to order because we always see a dip in the market through this holiday, the whole week, right? I mean, it's typically the entire week we don't get it back together.
Yeah, you don't see a big jump today, even on the Tuesday following. You would think, okay, well, we're back to work today. No, it will take till Friday before anything happens, and then next week. I will say this is again, my worry for us right now as a country, and I went back and looked at this, the consumer confidence today is as low as it's been. Wow. You know, I went back to 2015, and it's lower than it's ever been since 2015. Consumer confidence low. Dave, we're going into a holiday right now. We're just coming out of a holiday, and we have another one back. My worry for the independent contractor, for the small company out there today, is our freight volume's not going to be where it was before Memorial Day. Before Memorial Day, we were at a little over 13,000 shipments a day. We went down to just a little under 11,000, so upper 10,000s on the shipment count. Not a bad week, right? Not a bad start. It's going to probably go lower today, you know, as we see the numbers start coming out again. Dave, my worry is this: consumer confidence at near an all-time low, at least since the last 7 years, as low as it's been. We have the inflation very high. We have diesel prices still hanging out at that high area, not record high, but still very, very high. We see a rates reduction right now. We see less freight being shipped. We see less rejections happening in general, right? You know, the bigger carriers, the bigger shippers, they're taking everything, kind of controlling that spot market. The spot market prices aren't bad. You know, they really aren't. They're still not bad. There's just not enough of it out there. The problem with the spot market, even as high as it is today, is the fuel is just eating into that, right? The fuel and the inflation is eating into that. Now, Dave, here we go. We're going into summertime. We do know this, is that the hotels have seen, more bookings than they've seen since COVID. So bookings are considerably higher right now. The folks are taking vacations. People are taking vacations. I talked to Buckle Up Bob about this on Sunday. Bob's going on a trip up to Pennsylvania. And the same flight he booked right now versus, say, 6 months ago was $400 higher a person.
Wow.
And when you think about that family of 4 or 5, that are probably now going to decide to drive, they're going to spend more money on fuel, they're going to spend more money on that airplane ticket. There's not enough money, Dave, left to go out and buy other things, these household goods, the washers, the dryers, the refrigerators, the lumber. There's not enough out there. Dave, as we go into this holiday right now, into this season, I should say, and I'm talking summertime, I'm talking vacation season, I don't see how the shipment count's going to get back up there. You went off of history. We talked about this last week a little bit. You said, well, history says that, and I'm saying history really doesn't mean anything right now. It hasn't meant anything in the last 3 years. These last 3 years have been its own history. It's been like times never before. We're now just coming out of a COVID season. We're now coming out of a season in which we still don't have the workforce out there. There's a lot of weird things going on. I don't know if we can compare this to what happened in 2015, 16, and 17.
Yeah, the only reason I do that is that there's always a bounce back. Now, how far it bounces back, that's typically what we're discussing.
Bounce back
from this week.
I'm not talking about the bounce back, Dave. You got to compare to where it was from before. If our shipment count before was 13,000, I don't see how, if in fact we are not spending as much money right now, our confidence is down, how we're going to get back to that 13,000 mark. And I'm asking you on that. So tell me, because of history, but what else? There's got to be something, that's got to be money. It's not history. Right now, we've got to be able to spend the exact same money that we are spending in the first quarter, right? In going into summer. Now summer is here. Our excess spending is gone.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I'm going to say where it was the week before we went to on Memorial Weekend, going.
So tell me why. I'm telling you why I don't think it can. Why do you think it will get up to that, Dave?
Well, I don't think it's going to stay down to where it is this week. And
I'm not saying that. I agree with you there. Hopefully it doesn't stay where it is today. However, I will bet you it doesn't. It stays closer to this than it does the other way. Okay. And my question though is you believe it's going to go back? What's going to drive it to get to that 13,000 mark again?
I don't think demand has changed dramatically from the last week as it will this next week. I don't think demand has incredibly changed a lot. I do know that there is a consumer.
We've seen demand drop 33% over the course of in a 3-month period.
Yeah, I get that. But we've seen the goods go out. But I'm just saying that shippers also got a little bit better. They put more into the boxes than instead of half boxes and running just single pallets. They packed them more, so the goods went out a little bit different. Plus the warehouses are filling up again. I will tell you that I think the demand hasn't diminished greatly as much as 2,000 shipments a week over the next few days. I mean, you're talking about
2,000 shipments. I hear you, but that's not that much if you think the population right now. If in fact, Dave, and here we go, if in fact we as a country, we as a family are going on vacation this year, you know what can solve demand is not having the money. If I don't have the money, I can't do that demand unless I'm going to also go further in debt. Consumer confidence, though, I don't think allows you, I think it keeps you from spending money. When the consumer confidence level's low, you don't go into debt. You just don't feel good about buying anything. It's just that tends to be what happens. It's you're confident. You're not real confident. And with that, with the fuel prices, with inflation, I don't see where it's going to come from. I'll be honest with you. I don't see with a family of 4 going on vacation going to spend that much more money just to get there. And they're going to go out to eat. When you go on vacation, you're still going to go out to eat. That's additional money that's going on. Hell, have you looked at a menu lately? Has anybody looked at a menu? Even to get a car wash today is $2 higher than it was, say, 45 days ago. That's insane. $2 for the same car wash.
The menus almost have like stickers on them now to where they redo the prices. I mean, they're like temporary. They don't redo or they're paper menus now that they're handing out, and they change dramatically. I will say the menus are changing, prices are changing, but that's due to inflation. I mean, inflation has a hand in all of that. I mean, that's what we're dealing with the high. That's what inflation does.
That's what I'm saying. But I get how inflation works, but when our money is spent on inflationary items, right? The food and all of these things that we're spending, the hotels, the airline price, all of these things, I just don't see how we can go out there now, order that refrigerator, order that appliance, order that washer, unless it goes out. I think we've already done all that as well, though. I think we did that over the last 2 years. We as a country did that like crazy. We spend it all over our house. There's nothing left to fix. I mean, there's just nothing left to fix. We've done it all. We have done it all. Hey, Drive Safe, we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to come back. I do want to talk about a couple other things. We have the, still today, we don't have we see, wait lines everywhere. We see, employment. Everybody's still trying to hire, yet unemployment's at an all-time, near an all-time low, right? Or is it an all-time low?
Everybody's working.
Everybody's working. Where are they at?
Yeah,
where's everybody at?
No, I will tell you that, believe it or not, and I know this probably doesn't have a lot to do with it, but we lost about 500,000 people due to COVID in the workforce.
We'll come back to that, and yes, we'll come back to that, and we'll be back in just a moment.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility ProWear. Utility ProWear manufactures high-quality, ANSI-certified, high-visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility ProWear affords the wearer durable clothing with a great fit to afford the highest degree of safety. Get your high visibility apparel by going to utilityproware.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount.
Welcome back to BCB Live. We're the safest station in the nation. We're talking about where's everybody at. Where the heck is everybody? Drive Safe Dave, he's already got all that to COVID. COVID.
I didn't say all.
All of our workers are missing because of COVID.
I didn't say all. I didn't say all, but 500,000 is a kind of there's a percentage point in there somewhere.
All right, it probably is, but it's lower than it's ever been. There's more people out there working. Check this out, though. So, we're seeing higher prices everywhere. Dave, I don't know where the folks are. I don't know where the kids are. So, it was Friday or Saturday. My wife and I had the crave. I needed some ice cream. All right, so we go to Marble Slab. All right, and I'm not a big fan of the Marble Slab, only because I like my ice cream to come out pretty quick. Marble Slab, it can take a little while as they go there and they tip it out. So anyway, we're at Marble Slab, and we go in there. The line doesn't appear to be too long, and you walk in, you're like, oh, it's a little longer. And we thought we waited a second. Behind the desk, you're doing the ice cream at Marble Slab. Anybody been to Marble Slab? You ever been there?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so getting the ice cream out, it's not an easy thing. The workforce back there, and I don't know if it's owned by like an older person, but the workforce has an average age of like 85 in the back. I'm serious, 85, and they're getting that ice cream out, and I'm thinking, my God, my wrist is hurting watching them. Drive Safe, Dave. But it's either that or they don't open up, I'm assuming. But I'm telling you, 85 years old was the average age of that workforce back there. I was waiting, Dave, and we didn't move, and I told my wife.
Okay, now wait.
I said, "Hey, babe." I said,
"That's a pretty high average number." I'm just going to go out on a limb and tell you that.
I may be off a little bit. So anyway, I told my wife. I said, "Hey, you know what?" I said, "We just got to wait." I said, "I think we're going to. I don't want to leave because it'll probably hurt their feelings." And she looks at me. She goes, "You kidding me? They're probably going to be like, thank God." Anyway, so
Did you leave?
I left.
Wow.
I did this right here. "Hey, this is Rick. May I help you?" And I walked out the door. But I do think they were probably like, thank God. You know,
He got a phone call.
That's a young, everywhere you go in a marble slab or anything, that's Brahms. That's our hard work to get that ice cream out, and that's what we're dealt with. But Dave, you see you see pools now. Arizona's opening up their pools, yet it's like half their pools can't open up right now because there's not enough lifeguards.
Right. Yeah.
And
Where
that's a
are the
young-
lifeguards? Where are the lifeguards?
Hey, well, I got a fun.
The senior citizen home. Let's go. I don't know. Is that the answer?
You can't say.
One of my buddies just applied to go work at a golf course, and it was really weird when he told me about how they're paying him. So he's getting paid minimum wage the first 2 weeks, and then they're paying him his actual salary after that because they've had so many people apply, work for 2 weeks, then quit, and they're just they can stay on unemployment and keep and not have to work and keep getting checks. These like younger kids, and so.
Wow.
They found.
Did
They
you just
found-
quit?
they
How do you
found
go
the
on
loophole.
unemployment? You just quit.
I don't
I'll
know.
just quit. I'll just quit.
There was something with the way that they hire there. It makes it to where you don't have to. It's like a 2-week trial period or whatever, and then if you don't take it, then it doesn't look like you quit. Or so they've just had a bunch of kids
my
that'll literally
God.
work 2 weeks, then not work.
Well, in Arizona, they're giving like sign-on bonuses, you know, kind of sort of like $2,000 to the kids to get them to work, and they still can't get them. You have beach places, you know, you get to the coast, you know, these little trips that go to the beach, they're shut down. There's no bus service on this. No, I don't know, other than COVID, Dave, where's everybody at? Seriously, anybody know?
I know that they're having trouble. Oh, so Six Flags is here in town, and I know they're having trouble manning the rides and doing stuff out at Six Flags. I know that they're begging people to start working out there, and they usually don't have an issue getting kids out there to work, and they're having problems getting people out there to man the rides out there at Six Flags.
I mean, has there been more? I don't think there's not more businesses that have opened up. I mean, so you see, I think it seems like the same amount of businesses, but you don't have, I mean, anywhere you go still today, you expect bad service. We went to eat this weekend, and Dave, we sat down for probably 15 minutes before I got a water. And you know what? I was actually okay with it. I was, you know.
You were very appreciative of the way
when I got it, I was good with it. You know, hey, bring me 2 waters. But it was, it's just some crazy things going on.
It is some crazy things, and if you do get a great waiter and a great waitress, man, make sure you take care of them out there because to show your appreciation.
Don't forget to tip your waiters out there. You know,
and your waitresses. I'm just saying, you know, I mean, I'll tell you, the service industry is hurting. I mean, all of it's hurting. I think every industry has seen its difficulties, right?
Yeah, I think we're seeing a workforce that is starting to retire, right?
Yes.
We're getting to that retirement
Baby
age.
boomers.
I think we saw a lot of folks retire last year, and there's just not the same amount of people that are available to work, ready to work, or you know, into that side. Hey, we do have a guy from the demographics. Hopefully we'll have him on here in the next couple of weeks. That to me is exciting right there. When you listen to the demographics and you kind of get the background of the amount of people that are or aren't in the in the United States today, or the retiring age versus that age that's coming in. You know, there's things there definitely are some correlations in that. You know, just not the people. We see the same thing in China right now.
Yeah, we get not enough people because the baby boomers were a big surge, and it dumped a lot of people into the workforce, and now we're not pumping them back in. I mean, we're just not putting the same amount back in.
Folks, we have Double Check Dale coming up next, right on 7:30 on the hour. We're back on schedule here on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
Hey, welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. We're trying to do a little bit of weather here, and right now I'm having a little bit of trouble with the board. Mr. Producer, can we see if we can get something going on with it? Other than that, hey, so welcome back on Tuesday after Memorial Day. I'm going to talk a little bit about fires as we go because there are a couple of them still working out in the New Mexico area. So if you're up around I-25, that Herman's Peak fire 31 is about 31 miles east of Santa Fe. You know, that's up on I-25. So if you're in that area, lots of smoke going on. That one is only 42% contained. And so don't drive into smoke. That's very, very hazardous. And you don't know if fire is all consuming. So that, you know, be careful about that. I will tell you, without the boards going this morning, you know, currently we have some strong storms in Kansas, Missouri, and Iowa, going up and through Nebraska. Some very strong storms going on there. Lots of lightning, high winds will be associated with that. You know, later today, we have some very, very strong winds up in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, the northern part of that. And from later on today, Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle is going to see some stronger winds across the area there. So, you know, be aware of the winds. Find yourself a good weather app or on your phone. Go ahead and use that to look what the weather's at in your current position, but also take a look at, you know, where you're going to go. Plan your trip out a little bit to see where you're at. Look at the weather going out there because there are some thunderstorms going on today up in the upper Midwest. That's where you're going to see most of it. And like I said, your winds are up in the North Dakota area, and then later today they're going to be in the Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle area. I know Oklahoma City's going to see some winds around that 40-mile-an-hour gust above that. So with that, hey, we're going to take a short break and come right back, and we're going to talk some safety.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility ProWear. Utility ProWear manufactures high-quality, ANSI-certified, high-visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility ProWear gives you the added benefit of providing a barrier to liquids, dirt, and grime, keeping you cleaner longer, brighter longer, and therefore safer longer. Get your high visibility apparel by going to utilityproware.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount.
Welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. You know what? You pay for professional work. That's what you're going to get here at BCB Live. I want to make sure you know, hey, that's why the subscription fee is going up. You know, from, you know, it's remained zero. It's still a bonus. It's like free. So it is free.
We're going to go up 5%. We're going to go up 5%.
Yeah, that's right. It's
5%
still
is
zero.
zero.
Yeah, our rates are going up 10% up this next time. So when you subscribe, expect that 10% fee. Know that it's going to good usage. You know, it's to be the host that we are, to be the talent that we are. You know, it's not easy. You know, I know we make it look easy, but it really isn't easy. Doing what we do. It's a lot of work, a lot of practice, a lot of prep. And that's why we're so successful. Drive safe.
Yes, stardom.
Yes.
It's stardom. Sometimes it's more of a curse than it is a gift. But
have you ever gone out in public and somebody noticed you as drive safe, Dave?
Yeah, I did at the convention when we went to the convention.
I mean, just like in general.
Oh, in the truck?
Yes.
Well, Yes, but not a whole lot.
So it happened to me like 3 weeks ago at church.
Oh, nice.
A guy that he used to work for Cummins, but didn't know much from our work with Cummins today. But he comes out, he saw me, hey, Sir Rick, what's going on? I was like, dang, you know what? It felt good.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, finally, I'm getting noticed out there.
Yeah.
That alone is reason to raise our rates. We're getting noticed.
I was recognized, but it came out weird. It came out Dave Drive Safe or somebody they called me, but I was okay with the first attempt.
Funny how a minute ago, I feel like you're trying to throw the bigger stone right now.
That's not a bigger
because a minute
stone,
ago
yeah.
there was nobody. Now all of a sudden, oh yeah, there was this one guy that he called me Sir Rick, but I know he was talking to me.
They were just so awestruck they couldn't get the name out. I mean, they were
Is that
just
what it
looking at
was?
this guy.
It was the awestruck.
They
Yeah.
recognize Drive Safe Dave out there, though. I tell you, the one big way they can recognize you, and if you see this guy out there, if you ever wonder, is that Drive Safe Dave? If you see his pocket all the way down here, that's how you know it's Drive Safe Dave.
Okay, the pockets are a failed attempt. Okay, I'm going to go. Is that what you're telling me? I kind of liked them on the hanger. I was like, you know what? That'll be cool to get a pocket.
All I got to say, there's a reason probably those shirts are at a discounted price because it's not the sticker, it's where the pocket is. I mean, the pocket's like here. I'm telling you, put it in the middle, it looks like it'll be like a kangaroo. You know, it'll be
a pouch.
A pouch.
Down to your low, just like a fanny pack.
Oh, all right. Let's talk a little safety, Dale.
Hey, let's talk some safety. This week, we talk a lot about tailgating, following too close, increasing our space. And so we're just going over some of the statistics about tailgating. Inside the numbers, tailgating is dangerous because of our inability to brake in time. 23% of all vehicle crashes are rear-end collisions. There's over 2,000 deaths per year from tailgating accident. That's a whole lot of deaths. 950,000 injuries per year from tailgating. And 74% of all drivers indicate that they have tailgated in the last 6 months. And quite frankly, I think that number's a little too low because, you drive around out there, there's a lot of tailgating going on. So we just have to slow the chaos down. We have to increase that space between, the vehicle ahead of us and slow it down, own that space in front of us because, looking at those numbers, tailgating is dangerous and it causes deaths, causes injuries.
Yeah, I think a lot of tailgating is a lot of bad habits as well.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going out there intentionally saying, I'm going to ride this car. I know it happens, but I think a lot of it is just simply bad habits, not recognizing how close we really are to that vehicle in front of us.
Bad habits, maybe some aggressive driving. I drove up to the airport last night. Man, there's some aggressive driving out there later in the day. It's just, people in such a hurry, that zigzagging in and out. And I mean, there was some serious tailgating going on there. And if somebody would have had to brake for debris on the road or anything at all, bad things happen. Big accidents happen in a hurry that way.
All right. Hey, before we get to the videos, I do want to talk on this one thing. We've been talking about stopping, right? About the purpose, the intentionality behind really stopping. Not a rolling stop because that's like a play on words. That's not a stop. A stop is a stop. And I started looking at this, and my kids and my wife, because obviously in the past I was probably rolling through some of the neighborhood stop signs. And now I've been stopping. And I'm talking stopping, and they're like, seriously? What are you stopping here for? I said, because it says stop, because we've been talking about it. But here's what I noticed, Dave, is even when you do the rolling stop, and Dale, when you do the rolling stop, you really don't get a good look at what's going on.
No.
You just don't. Not when you actually stop. And when I actually stopped at some of these stop signs in the neighborhood, it was like, oh my God, it was crazy the actual view you do get because you're not moving, because you're stopped and it allows you to left, right, left again. Your vision of what you're seeing is absolutely amazing. I want you to make sure that, I know we talked about it, it's something you've got to do. And I just can't imagine, driving the big truck, Dave, and doing that rolling stop, not really stopping. You've got to stop and look what's going on around you.
When you don't stop the vehicle, you've trained your body all the time for the main point of focus to be directly in front of the vehicle. Doesn't matter if you're rolling 1 mile an hour or rolling 75 miles an hour, your main focus is right directly in front of the vehicle, which means it's not from all directions, which means it's not 100% from all directions. You're not pausing, taking away from this, and now focusing all of your attention to the left, all of your attention to the right, and all your attention back to the left. You're not doing that if you're rolling. And that's really the difference, is that Once you stop the vehicle, you disengage that moment, that lock, that, oh, I need to pay attention to where I'm rolling. Am I going to clear the corner? Am I going to run over the curb? Am I going to do any of those things? You're actually paying attention to what's coming in all directions.
Yeah, so it really was. And again, start stopping. Stop at the stoplights, at the stop signs.
100%.
Get into that habit of doing that. It will create a safer decision for you before you go, no matter what. You will always make a safer decision. And believe it or not, you're not losing time. I didn't start stopping at the stop signs and was late to work. It just didn't happen like that. I still made it on time.
Good job.
Yeah, I
Good
still
job.
made it on time.
Yeah, I got up 10 minutes earlier because I'm going to stop this morning. Now that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. So, hey, let's go into some videos here.
This first video we got is change lanes earlier so you can avoid the tailgate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, start this video out, got plenty of great space going on and everything, but we just keep getting closer and closer and closer, and we just changed lanes a little too late. And we watch this vehicle almost starts coming over, into us. And so that just goes to show the value of getting out into that other lane, controlling the lane you're in and getting out there early. So if that starts happening, you have some reaction time. I mean, starts out great, but doesn't end up so pretty.
Yeah, just a bad habit again right here. No reason why we shouldn't have gotten the left lane. Go when we get to the beginning of this, right at the very beginning, right now. Just get in the left lane.
So you'll watch the driver in the car in front of us. He sees this big truck coming up, and he's looking in that left mirror, and what tends to happen is you tend to follow your eye, and the vehicle starts to move over to the left. So he's watching. The driver's genuinely concerned because this big rig's coming in on him hard in the lane, and he's watching it going, is he going to move? Is he going to move? And then he sees you changing lanes. Well, he's following you with his eye in that change, and that's making the car drift over.
This next video we got is called Need to Stop Every Time, No Matter Where.
Here we go. We
Here
just
we
talked
go.
about it. Here we go.
And you talk about neighborhoods. You talk about just different scenarios and everything. Here we are in a neighborhood, but we still have to stop for it. Take that look both ways, that bicyclist, the pedestrian, the jogger, the pet. Just stop and get that good look instead of that glance both ways.
So this is what I was guilty of coming out of the neighborhood, obviously. And I know I was, because when I stopped, it just looks, I'm telling you, you stop right here, you're looking left, you're looking right, you're looking left again. You have the best vision. You're not, you know that you're not going to hit a bicyclist or another vehicle because your eyes are, you have a chance to look at all that while you're stopped. You've got to make a point to stop at the stop signs no matter where you are.
Respect it.
Yeah. Stop means stop, right? Not a suggestion.
This next video is called Increase Your Following Space and Own the Space Ahead of You.
Again, we're just, it's about those habits. It's about recognizing how close we really are and then doing something about them. And we're way too close. We're under a second here. There's not a lot of outs going on. And one of the things, it's kind of recurring. We've taken away the vision, the big picture here, because we're so close behind. We don't know what's in either one of any of the lanes in front of us.
Stop the video anytime. Just pause it. Okay. So you know that between each white line you have 30 feet, and the line's 10 feet. So you know that you're looking at no less than what? 50, 60 feet right there between
go
the
70.
Go 70
Yeah.
feet. Well, at 66 miles an hour, you're traveling 90 feet. So you're less than a second away automatically. And your reaction time is less than a second. So if that truck hits something, guess what? You're hitting the truck. If that truck hits something, now I'm not saying just touches the brake. I'm not saying slows down. I'm saying if he hits something, you're hitting the truck.
Yeah. If traffic is stopped up ahead and that driver ahead of you isn't paying attention and hits him, you're hitting them.
100%.
You have no choice.
You have no choice. There's nothing you can do.
No out
you
there.
can't. There's
So
no out.
why? So Dave, why would we do? Are these just bad habits?
Absolutely, these are bad habits. Look, we get used to in heavy traffic situation driving closer to the vehicles in front of us around at slower speeds. Well, we don't increase that space when we pick up speed and we get larger. We're just comfortable. It's all relative, and we fool ourselves into thinking we're comfortable because we travel that way a lot. It's a genuine bad habit. You can't see around this vehicle. Unfortunately, there's no vision. There's no big picture here either, and you can't see a lot of what's going on in front of you. You got to get around this, back off. And you know what? You'll catch yourself here. Don't get me wrong. You'll be driving along and that you may have moved over into the left lane and this guy may have slowed down. You may catch yourself here. But when you find yourself here and you realize, oh, don't wait for them to create the space. You have to create the space. Get off of it.
Yeah, we talk so much about it being habit and everything. It's just because it's so prevalent out there. We see all the other traffic around us doing it, and so if everybody's doing it, it's kind of that herd mentality. Well, if everybody's doing it, it must be okay, and it's not. It's not. We just have to recognize those bad habits and then do something about them.
So this next video we got is called "Not All Hard Brakes Are Bad or Good."
You know, we're coming up to a stoplight and everything, and we always have to be prepared to stop. And this driver does, you know, got a hard brake out of it. But we'll take that hard brake every time to make sure we help keep the intersections a little bit safer.
Look, we're going 35 miles an hour. We're able to stop when we need to stop. Yeah. And the light changes, and instead of just going through it, and we see a lot of four-wheelers, we see a lot of trucks do this right here. That's what makes these intersections so dangerous, is you don't know what somebody's going to do. The driver in this video does the best thing, make sure that they can stop, and they do stop where they're supposed to stop. A lot of great things right here in celebration of this video here. Phenomenal video.
Yeah, just all good all the way around. Like I said, doing the right thing, being at that speed that you can stop. You always want to be at a speed that you can stop with something, and what comes up, a light changes, somebody pulls out, whatever. You got to be able to manage that.
We got one more video, and this one's called "Increase Space This Close, You Lose the Big Picture."
You know, we're in that same situation when we're just too close, you know, and you really have no vision of what's going on. It's blocked a little bit to the right because the other truck and the big truck in front of us, we have no idea if there's traffic slowing, stopping ahead of us, if there's wildlife coming out, if there's a ladder lane in the road. So just have to back off and increase that space and make sure, you know, if you have to stop here, you have the room to do it.
But if you back off in this video right here, you know, maybe you're going uphill right now. I mean, you're going to lose your speed that you've just spent time building. I mean, why would somebody do that?
Because it's the safest thing to do. So if somebody stops in front of you, you don't rear end them. And so you protect lives, yours and others.
It's just a habit that we've got to continue to we just have to recognize. And again, we show these videos for all to see. You know, you're going to find yourself in this situation. And Dave, you made mention of that earlier. You're always going to find yourself. You've got to just react differently. You know, you've got to make a point to react, a lot sooner, before it's too late, before life is in jeopardy. You do have that ability to do that. You've got to see it, recognize it first. And the thing about technology today is that a lot of the trucks, a lot of the cameras, they have that coaching in there to help you out. It's telling you you're too close, and you've got to trust it. You've got to trust that technology is letting you know you're too close, and then you just have to back it off. You have to trust it that it's telling, and if you question it, Dave, then you can count yourself. You know, find that stationary object and begin counting. In these two videos that we saw today, you couldn't get to one.
Nope.
And if you're driving 65 miles an hour and you can't get to one, you're too close.
100%. And you got to be honest with yourself. I tell you, a lot of the times, well, I don't need anybody telling me what I do. I don't need anybody telling me what's going on.
What is that? When and I hear you, we hear that part right there. Where does that come from?
It comes from a sense of pride in thinking that you're, you've built your reputation on being a great driver, and you stand on that reputation, and you don't want to be questioned on the fact that you're a great driver. But I'll tell you, if you're really truly a great driver, then you don't mind people looking at what you're doing or understanding. And you know, you look at these videos, and none of them are outrageous. You know, there are moments in a time capsulated moment that are snippets of what's going on, but we've got to be honest with ourselves. Every driver, every great driver, every professional driver will look at that, and the first thing that will come to their mind, if it's not them driving at the moment, is that driver's too close. And the secret is to put yourself in the shoes of the driver at that moment. If you catch yourself today out there and you're that close, react accordingly and back off. For the sake of it today, for the lesson of it today, for the moment, for the opportunity today, back off. That's what we're saying. You'll catch yourself. If you're doing 600 miles today, you will find yourself in that position many, many times today. And when you do, react accordingly each and every time.
Man, just some great videos for us to learn from. We've got to continue to take these films and make better decisions. That's why we show them, to make better decisions, so we can learn off what Drive Safe Dave said, off others' mistakes, off others' lessons. We don't have to be the one that falls too close to fix it. You can fix it today before it happens, or if you find yourself in that situation, to recognize it and back off.
You know, there's a long lesson here, a big life lesson here, is that it's hard for us to see the negative behavior that we do, right? It's hard for us. It's called denial. It's hard for us to identify the negative behavior. But if somebody else sees it and recognizes it and lets us know, it's so, you know, if one person tells you did something wrong, well, it's one person. But if 2 or 3 or 4 people are telling you you're doing something wrong, you want to make a real hard look at what you're doing, because you may be doing something wrong, especially in the eyes of 4 and 5 people. And if the machine is telling you you're doing it, then, and it tells you repeatedly, then you may also be doing that negative behavior. It's just an opportunity to correct a negative behavior, because as we look at the videos, we can both say here in the safety aspect, those are negative behaviors out there on the road.
Look, I'll say this is, and I can probably go, there's never been, okay? There's never been a time that instant replay didn't define, was meaning that the human's eye was better than the instant replay. The instant replay shows you what happened. It shows you either he was safe or he was out. Either it was a catch or he's not. Now, maybe there's some rules that don't apply, but you never go the other. You never trust the human eye is phenomenal. I mean, I don't know how them refs do it, making some of the calls they do. However, when you go to instant replay, it slows it down. It allows you to go back and look at that call. That's kind of what we do here. It's taken what drivers have done out there, and we've taken and just pointed out some of the areas that they can get better at. And those are following too close. Those are the speed and space. And we show those to you because there's no question. I mean, you can't look at that and say that it's wrong. You're less than a second behind the vehicle.
Yeah, say that it's right.
Well, no, you can't look at the video and say the video's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. No.
Okay, yeah.
No, you can't look at the video and say that's wrong. It's not right. I'm fine. You're not fine.
Right.
You're too close. Statistics say that, and now you want to take things and learn from this and apply it and back off. You've got to increase your space. Heck, Dave, I'll tell you this. You know, a second's way too close. If you need to be 4 seconds, you know what? Make the move today to get to 2 seconds. Next week to get to 3 seconds. Whatever it is, you've got to get further away than that 1 second. There's not enough time for you to react. Correct. You're going to rear end somebody. Bad things will happen. You've got to get that space to where it needs to be at.
I will tell you that if that vehicle in front of you, that big truck, hits some solid object and comes to a stop, your truck will go into that trailer.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, and not only that, you may not survive that, because that truck into a trailer, those trailers are punishing. They're punishing.
All right, let's go to a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you again for this day you've given us. Once again, we just ask you to be with our drivers, to give them that ability to notice when they're following too close, when they've got to increase that space. We ask you to keep them safe on the road, get them back home to their families. We ask that you to always just help them make the best decisions possible. Lord, also be with the four-wheelers to help them set the big trucks up for success. Be with those shippers and the receivers to get them unloaded and reloaded timely, to keep their minds at ease as well. So many distractions out there, and probably none bigger than what goes on in our minds. And for that, I ask you to be with their families while they're out on the road, to keep them safe and to keep their to just be with them, their sons, daughters, husbands, wives, spouses, friends. Be with all of those. So thankful for all that you do. It's in your son's name we pray. Amen. We will see you tomorrow morning on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. We'll talk to you later.
Bye, everybody.